Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23, and Text 4 and 5. Savai Devarshivaryastam Manavim Samanuvratam Daivadgariyasah Pratyo Ashasanam Mahashishaha Kalena Bhuyasa Kshamam Karshitam Vratacharyaya Prema Gadgadaya Vacha Piditaha Krupaya Bravi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation: The daughter of Manu, who was fully devoted to her husband, looked upon him as greater even than Providence. Thus she expected great blessings from him, having served him for a long time. She grew weak and emaciated due to her religious observances. Seeing her condition, Kardama, the foremost of celestial sages, was overcome with compassion and spoke to her in a voice choked with great love. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. The wife is expected to be of the same category as the husband. She must be prepared to follow the principles of the husband, and then there will be happy life. If the husband is a devotee, the wife is materialistic, there cannot be any peace in the home. The wife must see the tendency of the husband and must be prepared to follow him. We learned when Gandhari understood that her would-be husband Dhritarashtra was blind, she immediately began to practice blindness herself. She covered her eyes and played the part of a blind woman. She decided that since her husband was blind, she must also act like a blind woman. Otherwise, she would be proud of her eyes and her husband would have been seen as inferior. The word Samanuvrata indicates that it is the duty of a wife to adopt the special circumstances in which the husband is situated. Of course, if the husband is great Muni, then a very good result accrues from following him. But even if the husband is not a devotee like Kadam Muni, it is the wife's duty to adapt herself according to his mentality. That makes married life very happy. It is that by following the strict vows of a chaste woman, Princess Devahuti became very skinny, and therefore her husband became compassionate. She knew that she was the daughter of a great king, and yet was serving him just like an ordinary woman. She was reduced in health by such activities, and he became compassionate and addressed her as follows. Since the Bhaktivedanta Parv. So we are reading from the chapter Devahuti's lamentation. Here we are seeing how chaste Devahuti is and how she tried to serve the husband very rigorously, following all the religious principles. Actually, these descriptions in Bhagavatam are a big challenge to the modern mind. Here in the Devahuti Kardama, this pastime, we see that before marriage Kardama was practicing tapas for 10,000 years. And then after he married, again they are doing so much of austerity. Here you see Kardama is continuously practicing, performing the religious rituals, and Devahuti is assisting him and serving him. And then for how long? Kalena Bhuyasa, for a very long time. And she is practicing such austerities so nicely that Kshamam Karshitam, she became very weak and emaciated. Sometimes, as per the religious rituals, there is fasting and there is a certain kind of vratas. Here it is mentioned vratacharyaya. Because of these vratas, she has become very weak and emaciated. It looks counterintuitive to the modern mind. Generally after marriage, sometimes they become very fat. Now here you see the woman has become very weak and emaciated. Before marriage, 10,000 years of practice of austerity, and after marriage again they are into vratacharyaya. What's happening? This is the modern mind thinking. Actually, Bhagavatam descriptions are like that. If somebody understands this, there is a revolution in his consciousness. Modern mind is absorbed in sin, but when they hear the pure descriptions of Bhagavatam, exposing the truth of life, exposing the reality of life, it creates a revolution in the consciousness and in the minds of the people. This is the power of Bhagavatam. All that is needed is scrutinizingly study Bhagavatam. By Prabhupada's mercy, now Bhagavatam is available to this world in the language that they can appreciate. Actually, it is not easy to translate from Sanskrit to English. English is so incompetent and limited. And the great thoughts which are captured in Sanskrit, not easy to translate. But Prabhupada has done that hard job. He mentions that there could be some limitations in this, but the saintly persons, people who are interested in the truth, they appreciate these books. Why? Because when you translate, it is not easy to actually bring out the real meanings. So, now why are they doing so many austerities like this before and after marriage? After all, they are supposed to have some children. Okay, where is the delay? The point is, they want a child who can bring a transformation, a revolution in this world. They want someone like Kapila to appear in their family. This is their wish. Both Kardama and Devahuti are not ordinary people. They are so exalted that they would be the parents of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnation as Kapiladeva. Now this requires an extraordinary vratacharyaya, nice religious practices. Producing a child like any other ordinary person, that is a common sight. It doesn't require any austerity, doesn't require any necessary vrata. Prabhupada also, he harshly reminds them that the world already has a lot of cats and dogs, and if you also produce one more who is like a cat and dog, then what is the contribution? You are adding to the problem. There will be more cats and dogs. We see even one person, a cruel person, can burn down so many things in this world. Just one big Rakshasa is enough to create a big disturbance in this world. So it's a responsibility of the parents that their progeny should not be the cause for a greater suffering of the society and the humanity. This is their concern. Vedic concern is this, that there may not be such a Varna Shankara progeny that they bring in devastation in this world. So they want to beget children who can actually contribute to the happiness of this world. By nature, this world is dukkhalayam, so many dukkhas. We are seeing many countries, they are all burning. In Bangladesh, there are so many horrific things are happening. And then in the UK, it's on the burn. There's so many people are protesting against certain policies of the government. And there is a war in the eastern side and Middle East. So everywhere we are seeing that now in this whole equation, one cranky person takes a call, one decision. Some government, somebody is there, and then he says, no, we should just attack this guy, this country. That's all. It will escalate into a world war. This is the scenario. One person can... we have seen in the past also there are some tyrants, dictators. One person, he became cause of a world war. So this is the scenario. So that's why when we hear these pastimes or the stories, the historical narrations in Bhagavatam, then it becomes a revolution in our consciousness. Actually married life is a sanctified, is a sacred life. And there is a great responsibility on the shoulders of the parents, on the shoulders of the wife and the husband. This is married life. Family life means full of responsibility. In family life there are no rights, only duties, only responsibilities. Husband. Now here we can see a wife has certain responsibilities towards the family, towards the husband. Husband has certain responsibilities towards the family and towards everybody. And then, so there are, it's like a family is like a small team, a unit, a small team. And the roles and responsibilities are given. And the ultimate goal is to be conscious of the Supreme Lord always, to render some service to Krishna. Because this service to Krishna is the only medicine for every person. So that's why here we are seeing that Devahuti, she is very strictly following this Vatacharya. And then Kshamam Karshitam. Emaciated is a very, medically, clinically, a very a deeper weakness it is. Emaciation is not easy. It's a very dangerous for the health. So he became like that. And Vratacharya. So Prabhupada, in his purport, he has given many interesting principles, very important principles of how a family life can become a happy life. Jai Sri Radha Govinda. Because people, they have forgotten Bhagavad Gita, they have forgotten Bhagavatam, they really don't know how to lead their lives. They don't understand what is the reality of a student life, what is the reality of a family life, what is the reality of a retired life. They have no idea. They imagine, they assume their own way. of leading such lives. Generally, they are all influenced by their association. If the student has a bad association, his whole life is spoiled. He becomes a drug addict, becomes an addict of so many things, and then he loses his wonderful opportunity to perfect his life. So, in each and every aspect of our life, there is a absolute truth. There is a reality which is constantly working. What is the reality of married life? That we are seeing in these pages of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not describing some mundane family life here. It is not describing some sense gratificatory married life here. It is talking about the absolute truth. What is the reality of married life in this world? So this is an ideal life. And to reach to that, one has to be a great devotee of the Lord. So as devotees, we should be very curious to understand the absolute truth in each and every aspect of our life. As a student, what is the absolute truth? What is the truth? This seeking of the truth is the best quality of a devotee. Devotees, we all joined here this moment, or we came in touch with this moment in pursuance of the truth. We got attracted by Prabhupada books. We read Prabhupada books. We were shocked by the reality. Oh, this is the reality of this world, this life. I have very little time. Let me understand. So, now Bhagavatam is giving an idea, a comprehensive idea of how this truth is operating in this world. Everywhere we can see the truth, provided you wish to. If we are absorbed in the way I want to see, I will see, then that is also possible. To a certain extent, Maya will make you think like that. Now, Independence Day is coming. Now, everybody is interested in independence. Actually, everybody likes independence. It is the nature of the soul to be like that, to be free and independent. But our independence is subordinate to the supreme independence of Krishna. This has to be understood. No one can be supremely independent. This is a mistake. One can be independent, but his independence is dependent on the independence of Krishna. Within the framework that Krishna gave, we can be independent. This is this independence is recognized in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, he explains many yoga systems by which one can expand his consciousness and understand the truth of life. But at the end, he gives the option to Arjuna, Yateshasi tatha kuru. Arjuna, now you decide. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not pressurizing Arjuna. I am Almighty, you should surrender, otherwise I will shoot you off. He is not saying all those. He is saying Tatyech Yatha. You decide. Arjuna says, no, my Lord, now my illusion is over. I understood the truth. See? Arjuna is not attached to his opinion. He is not attached to his thinking. Mera decision, mera this thing. No. When he heard a higher truth from Krishna, he saw that advantages, he saw the merit in that, and then he said, yes, now I'll give up my lower truth which I am attached to, and then I'll accept the absolute truth that is given by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. See, this is the mood of a devotee. Devotee means he is not attached to any of these, his desires, his ideas, his decisions also. Sometimes we may decide something, and then let us say you see the truth changing, the reality changing, we may have to change the decision. So this is how the devotees have to lead their lives. Constantly things are changing, and we have to hold on to the truth of Krishna. Then Krishna will reveal the truth. Okay, no, this is not the way you have to go. Go like this. After going like one or two steps, again things may change. And we may say, okay, no, go like this. You cannot say, no, Prabhu, yesterday only you told this. Today you are again changing. Please understand, we are living in a changing world, an ever-changing world. We are not interested in some little decision and then just holding on to it blindly. If the reality is changing, yes, we will also change our decision. But principles cannot be changed. Principles cannot be changed. There are certain things that can be changed. There are certain things that cannot be changed. Principles will stick on to it, and the application part of it, those can be adjusted depending on the reality. So here we are seeing that Devahuti, very chaste, she is a chaste devotee, and then she is serving a husband, and in order to advance in her vrata. It is mentioned, Chanakya Pandit, he mentions in one place, very interesting, he says about husband and wife, he gives one interesting formula, Santosha Strishu Kattavya Swadhare Bhojane Dane. Chanakya Pandit says, one should be satisfied with the three things in his life. He should be satisfied. There is no question of dissatisfaction in these three areas. What is that? Swadhare means one's own wife. In Vedic culture, marriage means that's it. Only once in lifetime. And then after that, there is no divorce, no separation. As a team, they should work in order to progress towards Krishna. There is a goal for family life, and that is Krishna. So, Swadhare, then Bhojane, one should be satisfied with his Bhojana, whatever comes to on his plate. It is by the supreme will of the Lord, today I have this great opportunity to Hana Prasadam and be very happy. Whatever comes. And whatever comes onto the plate, you should complete. Don't waste. Not even one grain. So you can exercise your control before it comes onto the plate. But once comes onto the plate, you have to complete. Of course, except some mirchi, chili, all those things you can throw. Otherwise, everything else you have to eat. So, bhojane and then dhane, wealth. Whatever one accumulates, the wealth, by honest endeavor, that whatever wealth comes, you should be satisfied. In some of the old, elderly people, in their families, we see whatever the husband brings to the house, he keeps the money in the hands of the, wife, and wife, without any complaint, whatever comes into her hand, she will take it up, and whole month she will manage the family. Now this is the kind of situation we see, and so then, but Chanakya Pandit also says there are three things in which we should never be satisfied. That is also there. It's not that always satisfaction only. There are three things where we should not be satisfied. Trishu chaiva na kartavyo. First one is adhyayane. Adhyayana means swadhyay. One should never be satisfied with the education, particularly Bhagavata education. Adhyayana. this Vedic knowledge. So always eager, asking questions, clarifying doubts, and making notes, and connecting verses, chapters. There is so much to learn. And that is adhyayane. And the next one is japa. So Chandika Pandit is saying japa. No one should be satisfied with the number of rounds that is chanting. So we see this pastime in our spiritual master's master, our grandfather, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In his last days, he has taken a vow of chanting 1 billion holy names. So every day he used to chant 3 lakh, like Haridas Thakur, 3 lakh holy names he used to chant. And he used to live in a small hut, and continuously he is chanting the holy names of the Lord, japa. And in case there is some problem with the roof, and then he has to make some adjustments, he is not bothered. Put some little umbrella and then just go on chanting. He has a big goal to achieve. And then it took about 9 years for him to complete, to come to this 1 billion holy names. See, not satisfied with number of rounds that we are chanting. At least minimum 16 we should complete without any fail, and then go on chanting. But then only chanting we will not be able to do. One should not imitate a higher level than what is possible for him currently. Okay, once in a while, on Ekadashi or some special days, we can chant more rounds, but other days we should simply run around and work and push on this movement as much as possible. This is important. Sometimes they're asking, like in Bangladesh, people, if somebody comes to attack, what should we do? Should we sit and chant Hare Krishna? And they're all breaking everything here. What will the devotee do? We should not shoot him off. Rascal, you come here. No, we're not going to be silent like that. So, devotees, they should be excelling in the field that he is most comfortable. Because in the beginning days, whatever he is been given, he should do, and slowly Krishna will bless him, where he can excel more and more. So, adhyayane japa dana. One should not be satisfied with dana, charity. This is, our preachers can tell the donors, where you should not be satisfied. Please, you have to do. Then you may say, then what about us? Are we doing any charity? We are doing only charity. From morning till night, what are we doing? Only charity. Janma sadhak kari, karo paropakar. Paropakar means charity. Here the devotees who are full time, they have given their lives for the paropakar of the people, for their welfare. We are giving charity of this knowledge, charity of prasad, so many charities. It is called HKM charities. There are so many things. So this is our life is like that, very simple. So here in this purport we can see Devahuti, she is of the same category. Wife has to be of the same category of husband. If husband is becoming devotee, wife also should become devotee. She should also understand the nature of husband. And then, and Prabhupada is explaining, if the husband is a devotee and wife is not a devotee, not a good combination. And if wife is not devotee and then husband is devotee, that is also aberrations. One has to carefully manage these equations. one should seek the guidance of the spiritual master and the practicing devotees, and then carefully they manage the situation in such a way that there is no breakage of these family units. If the families break, society breaks, there will be a great unrest in the whole life. So we should ensure that by practicing Krishna consciousness, the grihasthas, they have to set a great example for the world to follow. This is the responsibility of Krishna conscious grihasthas. Any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.